Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how to make this card. You need quite a lot of cardstock for this one. To start off with, you need the card base in Whisper White, and it measures 8 1/4 by 5 7/8, scored and folded in the middle. A real red layer which measures 4 inches by 5 3/4, a Whisper White layer that measures 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. You also need 2 real red squares that measure 2 3/4 inches square. You need white, Whisper White, that measures 2 1/2 inches square, and a scrap piece of Whisper White that measures about 2 1/2 by 3 1/2 inches. You also need 8 squares that measure 1 1/4 inch square. The red one is from Nordic Noel designer series paper, and the grey one is from the Confetti Celebrations paper. Because there's quite a lot involved in making this card, I have tried to do as much as possible beforehand. Starting off with the top layer, I put through my Sizzix, my Big Shot, with the Lucky Stars embossing folder. I've adhered those 3 layers together, and then with the 2 red squares, you need to get them adhered together to form a star shape, and the easiest way to do it is to use your grid paper like this. If you're using the inches side like I am, then you'll find it's 2 1/2 rows, 2 1/2 rows that way. So once that's all centred like that, if you're on the centre here, you know that's where you need to glue it. If you're using the centimetre side, I think it's 3 rows down and 3 rows in. That is one of the jobs that I have done beforehand. So we need to put our squares on. Because these are directional, you must make sure that you're putting them all in the same direction. Also, because the last one needs to be slipped under the first one, only put glue down the right hand side. I'm using Snail, just down the right hand side, and I'm lining it up so I've got a little red gap round the edge there. And then a red piece, lining it up with the same amount of gap, only glued on the right hand side. And then this one, I'm going to keep it going that way so it's in the same direction. Glue on the right hand side, same gap on the red, the star underneath. Then another piece of the red designer series paper, which will be going there, so I'll put my glue on that side. In fact, I'm going to turn that round. And then the next grey one, which will be going there, so we'll count that as the right hand side. Another red one, it's going to go that way. Grey one will be that way, so we'll say that's the right hand side. That's right. And then the last one, the red, will be glue on that side. So I need to get that under there, that on top, lining it up. There we go. So that's right. And the next thing for the Father Christmas, the image comes from the set Get Your Santa On, and I've used this image. Obviously I'm not using this bit, so when you stamp it out, you just need to stamp out this piece here and then colour it in. It does mean that you have to fussy cut it out, but it's not too much going around the edges here. To colour it in, I've used real red for the hat, the jacket and the little bit of trousers, basic grey for the belt, the mittens and the boots, and blush blossom for the face, and I went over the nose 2 or 3 times to give it a darker colour. I think Father Christmas should have a rosy nose. And then I used dazzling diamonds on the pom-pom, the fur trim on his hat, the moustache, the beard, fur trim on the cuffs of the sleeves and the cuff around the bottom of his jacket. I hope you can see that. So I've already done that, I've cut it all out, and I've also taken all the backings off the dimensionals, and then pop that in the centre. And then adhere that to your card base. Get these lined up so that I make sure I leave enough room for the sentiment. I also like to try and make sure that I get this straight as well. Tell you what we'll do, take that line there, Go, straight first time. Okay, now the sentiment comes from the stamp set called 4 Frames, and I've used this one. That I did with basic grey, and then I again fussy cut it out because I didn't want the white on the edge here, because it's going straight onto white. As you can see, once you punch it out, you do get the extra white around there. And also, in fact, here's one that I did earlier. So you get that little extra bit of white there. I tried doing grey on the edge there, but I don't know, it does look nice, whichever. And then for the Merry Christmas, that comes from the Petite Pairs, Merry Christmas here. This is a nice set because you've got a sentiment for the outside and one that goes on the inside. So Merry Christmas outside and a happy, joyful, bright New Year goes on the inside. So that's good. So in fact I am going to use this one. I did try just punching out and then doing an underlayer, but I found that it was coming up too big, like this. But I felt that it was getting a bit cramped in there, so, and that I thought looked rather nice. So that's what I'm going to do here. Again, the ink is basic grey and real red for the sentiment. I used my Stamp-A-Majig to get the sentiment in there correctly, and obviously just lining this point up with this point here. There we go. I think that's a lovely card, really do like it. Ever since I first saw this Faux Pinwheel, I've loved it. That's coming up there, so what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of Tombow under it. If you've got any little bits that are coming up that you're not happy about, you can just stick them down. Well, I hope you like my card today, and I hope you give it a try. I think it's a nice fun card. Many thanks for watching my video. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'll be happy to help you. If you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you'd like to buy any of the Stamping Up products I featured here, I would love to have your business. Please visit my website www.janbcards.com and click on the 24/7 online Stamping Up button, and that'll take you straight to the shop where you can buy any of the products. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio!